This is something that happened, I think, a little while ago. I think it was on the day that my cat was getting stuff done. So like Sunday or no, not Sunday, Thursday. Yeah, Thursday. Uh, but yeah, apparently, guys, I got some bad news. Apparently, everybody's going to be automatically registered from the draft going or for the draft going forward. Now, the timing of this is very particular to me. As someone who is not actually a military aged male anymore, although I think they may have raised it, so I might technically be now. I can't remember. Um, the idea of getting drafted is kind of terrifying to me. I don't, I think that I'm out of the range, but at least in terms of the initial draft, if they ever go to war, but they might expand it and include me at some point. Um, and obviously, if they do, I am going to conscientious object. And if they do not allow me to conscientious object, I am going to internally sabotage. I'm just putting that out there right now. If you don't let me conscientious object and just do community service for my community and stuff instead of going to war, I will internally sabotage. I'm just putting that out there. American military, please listen to my words. If you're going to force me to do it, I would rather be in jail. So I'm just letting you know. Um, but anyway, that's my personal opinion on being drafted to go die for this Nazi state of Israel. But anyway, this apparently they have instituted automatic draft registration, which I guess before you had to I think you were legally required to, like, once you hit 18, register for the draft. I don't remember ever doing that personally, unless my parents did it for me or something. I honestly didn't even know that that was the law, to be quite honest. Maybe we did it and I didn't know about it or something, or maybe I did it and just forgot. But to be honest, I do not remember ever doing that. But apparently they're just going to make it automatic going forward. So. Which also seems a little silly. Like, why do you have to register for the draft if there is no draft? Shouldn't it be you should only have to register for the draft after the draft? I guess it's to be like prepared or something. But anyway, this video is called Military Draft Registration Going Automatic in December. Let's see what that's all about.
Let's start talking about the possibility of the U.S. draft coming back. So the U.S. military will automatically register eligible men for the selective service draft system a bit.
Real quick.
Military will automatically register.
Only in America, man. Only in America can, like, hogs like this join the fucking military. I'm sorry, but, like, I feel like you gotta be, like you gotta lose a little bit of weight to if you want to be a part of, like, I feel like if you want to be a part of the American military. This is a cop bod. This is not a military bod, okay? Military bods, this guy has a military bod. You do want to be like on like the bigger side. You don't want to be like lean, like you're not supposed to be like 10% body fat. I'd say you should be like this guy, like 20 to 30% body fat. But I'd say probably like 20, 25 maybe, if I had to guess. He has clothes on, so it's hard to tell. You want to be like big, but you also, yeah, you don't want to be like, super, super chunky. You got to be able to do lots of physical activity if you're going to be in the military. But anyway, sorry. Let me go.
So the U.S. military will automatically register eligible men for the selective service draft system a bit later this year. Previously, the onus was on the men to register themselves. So that's going to definitely impact families of young men. Think late teens, early 20s, and beyond. So if you're curious, what is the selective service system? It's the military draft, and it was established back in 1917 by President Woodrow Wilson after the U.S. entered World War I. So that puts some things into perspective for you as to where this stands. And if we're calling this back,
My understanding is the last time people were drafted was, I think, Vietnam, as far as I remember. And people can correct me in the comments or whatever, or leave a message, but I'm pretty sure Vietnam was the last time that we ever actually implemented a draft.
it must mean this is some serious stuff to our government.
But that's why I'm also a little bit concerned about them making all these changes right now, especially with the current state. Like, so, like, there's a couple things that could be happening right now. They could be thinking, okay, Iran is going to be such a big, like, if we want to actually militarily occupy Iran, we are going to need hundreds of thousands of troops, like constantly for like, the foreseeable future, like decades. Um, and we're also obviously going to have to replace lots of them as they die because people will just be constantly dying if we do go forward with that sort of option. So there's that potentiality. But I think there's also a idea um in our elites, like in our, pedo billionaire overlord class, that the next, like, that we're about to be entering an era of world conflict, um like similar to World War I, World War II era. That is not just going to be this one conflict in Iran, but is going to be, multiple conflicts all over the world over the course of decades. Um, and so I think they're probably just trying to prepare for that. Like I said, if I do not morally support the goals of the war, then I am not going to participate. I will find whatever way that I can to not participate. Now, if there does happen to be a actual moral and just war that we end up fighting, then I will gladly like fight for it. Like for instance, I think that I probably would have joined the cause for World War II. I would not have joined the cause for Vietnam, Afghanistan, or Iraq. So if there is a moral cause to it, then I will join it. But I do not see the axis of Epstein, America, Israel, Argentina, and whoever the hell, like the UK, maybe, whatever legion of demons decides to align with us. I don't really foresee us doing anything good in the near term or the far term, to be honest. So I have a high skepticism that I will be joining any sort of military ventures related to that. Just saying.
Federal law, most men between 18 and 25 are required to register with the Selective Service System in case Congress and the president authorize a military draft. So right now,
okay, so I am over 25 people, in case you're unaware. And I know that I look like a youngster, but I assure you I have at least 1 foot in the grave. So I am in the clear when it comes to this.
Now, though, they have to self-register within 30 days of their 18th birthday, but they're allowed to register late without penalty until they turn 26. So that's been the sort of workaround here, if you think about it that way. Failure to register is considered a crime that could disqualify you from student loans, most federal jobs, and U.S. citizenship for immigrants, Stars and Stripes reports. So when you think of the phrase draft dodge,
but I think that I think that it's almost never enforced, though, even for those types of things like federal jobs and stuff. As far as I know, they won't like not hire you or something, or they won't not hire you if you've done this, because this is such a like, this is one of those things like jaywalking where like I'm pretty sure 90% of the population just doesn't do this. You know what I'm saying?
it comes from this. Women are still exempt from registering, though. A new rule passed by Congress just last year will automatically register those eligible men in the system, which transfers responsibility for registration from individual men to SSS through integration of federal data sources. This is, again, all coming from the SSS website. So here's the big picture. Draft registration has declined in recent years. And don't just take my word from it. It's coming from the Military Times that monitors this especially closely. And they say that it's in part because federal student loan forms removed the option to register back in 2022. So if you're curious as to when the military draft will become automatic, here's a look at the timeline. According to the Selective Service System, it's hard to say. Try it 10 times fast. Automatic registration will be in place by
Sure,
December of this year.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I mean, like I said, look up conscientious objection. It sounds pretty OP, people. It's pretty sick. You just do community service all across the United States, and you don't have to set foot in Iran. I'm just saying, there are other options out there.